Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. Today is Thursday. So we're still continuing with slope and parallel and perpendicular. Tomorrow is going to be a little tougher because you're going to have to solve equations for y. But let's take a look at today's work. Test number 2 is next week. Find the slope. Well, in order to find the slope, you have to first identify where these points are. Now, obviously, this one is going up, so that's a positive. And remember, it's over first. So you start at the middle, which is the origin. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's a negative 4 because you're going to the left. And then you're going down 1, so that's a negative 1. And then right here, it looks like over 3 up 2. And there's your point. Now you could square this off and do rise over run, but we're going to go ahead and use the formula. So the y's go at the top. So I should see a 1 and a 2 at the top. So right here, let me move this up a little bit. I want you to do it exactly like this. So put your parentheses, and then start putting your numbers in there. So I'm going to say negative 1 and 2, and then I'm going to say 4, my x's, and 3, or negative 4 and 3. Be careful with that. So I get a negative 3 over a negative 7, I guess that is, and that becomes a positive 3 over 7. So the rise is 3. Let's see if that's true. 1, 2, 3, and then this should be 7. And there it is. And that's what slope is. Let's try another one. This one right here, B, you're going to do y minus y. So negative 4 minus a negative 6, and then negative 2 minus a negative 3, these become pluses. So that becomes 2 over 1. And there it is, we're done. All right, make sure you can do slope. Okay, so write point slope formula. That's y minus y equals m times x minus x. Memorize it, and this is on the board by the clock. This is letter B on the board. Make sure you can find it, so look for it. All right, let's go on. On a new sheet of paper, copy all of this down. Now what I want you to do is solve for y and find the slope. So look up here. You have to be able to do this. So put x plus 2y is equal to 6. Put a star by this, draw a line, circle the y. You want to get rid of the x first and then the 2. So subtract x, because it's a plus, and then divide by 2. So 2y equals negative x plus 6, and then divide by 2, and this is your slope, and that's all we want. So you put a 1 in front of here, so the slope is negative 1/2. I want you to write two things. I want you to write the slope that is parallel and the slope that is perpendicular. So use this, give me parallel, and give me perpendicular. Do that right now. Parallel, you're going to use the same slope. Perpendicular, you got to flip it and change it. Any questions on parallel or perpendicular? Flip, change, negative, reciprocal. Now let's keep moving. This one right here, you want to get y by itself. This is on your worksheet, by the way. So you want to get rid of that x. So that's a plus x, so you want to do a minus x. So you get negative y is equal to negative x plus 0. You don't need the plus 0, so just get rid of it. Now to get rid of this, put a 1 in front of here, and then divide by negative 1. So you get y equals a positive x over 1, which is just x. So the slope is the number in front of the x. Write that down. Number in front of x is slope. Put a star by that. So that's going to be a positive 1 is the slope. Make sure you understand that. Now, give me parallel and give me perpendicular. Well, to be parallel, you're going to use the same slope. To be perpendicular, you're going to flip it and change it. Well, if you flip 1, it's still going to be 1. And if you change it, it becomes a negative. And there it is. Make sure you know that. All right, today you're going to do a worksheet. You're going to do the back side of the worksheet. But before we get there, copy this one down. This is the last one I'm going to do with you. I want parallel and perpendicular. All right, so the first thing you have to do is get y by itself. So draw a line, circle the y. I want you to do it right now. Well, you want to subtract 5x from both sides. So you're going to get negative 2y is equal to negative 5x plus 7. And then you're going to divide by negative 2. Now you don't care about anything else. All you care about is this. So the slope, two negatives make a positive 5 over 2. So parallel and perpendicular. What would it be? Parallel would be 5 over 2. And perpendicular would be negative 2 over 5. Now to write this, you're going to do y minus your y equals your slope, and then x minus your x, and you're done. Make sure you know that. Watch again. Y minus your y equals your slope, and then x minus my x, which is 2. So everything's the same except the slope. So there is parallel, and there is perpendicular. Flip, change. Okay, so today you're doing the worksheet, the back side, the front side if you didn't finish it. Okay, I think I gave some classes 1 through 4. So today you're going to do the rest of the front and all of the back. And make sure you can do these down here. So if you get stuck, ask. We're going to switch now to MCR. And those of you who are trying to follow this video, the second video is always my MCR, is the way I've been doing it. Okay, so let's keep moving. This right here, we want to solve those equations. All right, well this one right here, you have a's on both sides. So the first thing you want to do is move this one over here. Remember, if you cross that line, the sign changes. So you get 2a minus ma, just like that. We want to take out an a, so you're left with 2 minus m, and then you want to divide by 2 minus m, and you're done. So your answer on your test next week is right there. These are called literal equations. This one right here, you want to get z by itself, but z is on the bottom, so make it a proportion. 1 times x plus y is the same thing, and this gives you zp. So all you have to do is divide by p, and you're done. There it is. Oop, put a fork in it. You're done. This one right here, you want to get y by itself. Draw a line, circle the y. So subtract ax from both sides, and you're left with by is equal to c minus ax. Divide by b, each of these by b, and you're done. Now you could write your equation like this. Either way. Any questions on how to do that work? All right, let's keep moving. We're going to do some inequalities, so on a new sheet of paper, copy these down. This is 2.7, so pay attention. All right, here we go. Number 1, you want to solve this inequality. Now, before we do this, there's a rule. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, it has to be a negative, then you reverse the inequality. So if it's greater than, you put less than. Okay, you reverse it. That's a rule. Put a star by that. So on this one right here, all we're going to do is draw a line. We're going to add 5, just like a regular equation. We get 2x is now less than 12, divide by 2, and we get x is less than 6. Now to graph that, here's 0, here's 6. In less than 6, you don't color the dot, but you go this way. Okay, do not color the dot. This one right here, you want to draw your line. You want to add 5, just like we did before. So you get negative 2x is less than 12. But here, you're dividing by a negative number, and so you have to reverse that. So as soon as you divide by a negative, you have to reverse the inequality. So now it becomes greater than. So x is now greater than a negative 6. And here's a negative 6 right here. So greater than would be going this way. Any questions on how to graph it or the idea of changing the sign? All right, let's keep moving. We've got 2 more, and then we're done with this. So let's take a look. On this one right here, draw a line. You want to subtract x from both sides just like you normally do. This one is less than or equal to, and so now you're going to subtract 9 and get a -1. So x is less than or equal to a -1. So a -1 is here, and equal to, you color it in, and less than, you go smaller. And there it is. So that little line right there tells you to color it in. And then finally, the last one right here is like a compound inequality. So you got 3 parts. You have the head, the body, and the legs. Okay? So you're going to distribute. So you get -6, and then you get 3x plus 6, and then you get 9 right here. And so what you're going to do is get x by itself. So you want to subtract 6 from all 3 parts. So you get 3x is less than -12, or greater than, but less than 3. Divide by 3, and it's a positive, so you don't change any signs. So you get -4 is less than x, and x is less than 1. Let's see how that looks. So here's -4, there's 0, and there's 1, and it's less than or greater than. So x is in between. So do not color those in unless you see a line there. And that's called a compound inequality. And here's your work for today. If you get stuck, check your answers and ask for help. Have a good morning.